Any other idiosyncrasies you want to get out?
No, I just wish I had a mic stand, but I don't get one.
Other insecurities?
Okay. No, I'm fine. Okay.
The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of the shadow of death, a light has dawned.
He was despised and rejected by men, a man of sorrows and familiar with suffering.
Richard.
Yeah?
What are you doing?
I'm reading what I'm supposed to read. We're supposed to stand here and read this.
Yeah, but we're
Steve, there's a bunch of people watching. Just read it.
Okay, all right, but yeah, we're supposed to be reading the Christmas story.
Yeah. Well, I'm reading a prophecy about Jesus' life, and that's the Christmas story, isn't it? Isn't it what you wanted?
Yeah, but no, not really. Actually,
it's what you asked for.
It's funny.
You asked for. You asked for it.
But you're reading about Easter Jesus. We were supposed to be reading about Christmas Jesus.
There's only one Jesus. You know, it's the Christmas guy grew up to be the Easter guy. You know, they're the same guy. You do know that, don't you, Steve?
You know, it's Christmas, so you kind of want the whole, like, cute little 8-pound precious little baby Jesus thing, you know, and people are
swaddling clothes.
Exactly, and then people are out working today, and they're worried about their credit card bills and all that stuff. You know, we don't want to hear sad stuff.
This isn't sad stuff. This is Easter. This is not sad stuff.
Oh, really?
No, yeah.
Okay, very clear here. He was pierced for our transgressions.
Okay, that's not so good.
Crushed for our iniquities. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
that's not sad.
Well, no. I mean, you gotta go through it. You gotta go through it all. It isn't pleasant at first, but it ends really good. It's all part of the Christmas story. You gotta go through it.
No. It's not the Christmas story. It's about the manger and the star and the 3 wise men. You know, they come with the sheep and everything.
That's only the part of the story. That's not the big deal. That's only part of it.
I know. But with the holidays and everything, it just seems to be a bit challenging. And baby Jesus is safe.
Safe.
That's easy.
Safe.
It looks good on the Christmas card. The star.
Safe. The incarnate deity is safe. He comes, man. That's wonderful. It's radical. It's wild. Steve, how do you keep your job? This is not safe. It is not safe. I wonder how this man keeps his job. Okay.
But most people forget about the whole God in flesh part. They just like the stable and the donkey and all the other things with the hay and the no room at the inn stuff. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Okay. You're selling them short. Look at these people. They look really smart to you. Well, except 1 or 2, but they look really smart. And I think they understand the significance of all this. I mean, they know what's going on in Bethlehem that night. And it's more than just a baby,
Yeah. Okay. Your little craziness and idiosyncrasy aside here. I still think we got a room full of people that just want to get out of the hustle and bustle of the normal world, get back to the easy stuff, So I like to just read them a story they can feel good about and go home with, and
Okay.
I just think that's
all right. Yes, I understand
that's
that.
me.
But Christmas is about hope, right? Right. It's not a script. Okay, it's not about hope, right? Yeah. I know. Yeah, it's but Chris. But say yes.
Yes. I'm supposed to say what?
Yeah.
Welcome to Sunfire Repertoire Theater.
So, okay, it works better this way. So, what is hope without the cross? I mean, think about what is hope without the cross.
Yeah, but this is Christmas. Do we really need to talk about that? That's just what I'm saying.
Our hope isn't that just Jesus came. It's amazing, wonderful, it's beautiful, and it's Christmas night is so cool. But the hope comes from the cross and the empty tomb. Otherwise, what would be the point?
Yeah, explain that a little more.
He didn't come just to be a baby. I mean, he didn't come just to be a faith healer and talk to people and preach pacification and do good things to all over everybody, all that kind of stuff. That was all nice. But it was all about dying for us. He died for you, died for me, died for them, so we can have eternal life. That's the hope.
Okay,
That's
so what would you like?
Let's read it. You read what you read, and I'll read what I wrote.
You got a good feeling about
We'll
this.
go from there. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to pick up where we left off then.
Yeah, where were we? You come in, I'll figure it out. Okay.
The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. On those living in the land of the shadow of death, a light has dawned.
He was despised and rejected by men. You're right, this doesn't sound very happy. A man of sorrows and familiar with suffering.
For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulders.
Surely he took up our infirmities and carried our sorrows.
And he will be called, I'm waiting for the Messiah to start here, Wonderful, Counselor, Almighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Come on, everybody.
I can't sing mine. Yet we considered him stricken by God, smitten by him, and afflicted.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us.
But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed. That's where you go.
In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world, and everyone went to his own town to register.
We all, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us has turned to his own way. George? Yeah. Where? Right there. Right there.
Oh, it's just two.
Yeah.
We all, like sheep, have gone astray. Did you just read that?
Yeah, but you do the next line.
The Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
He poured out his life unto death, and was numbered with his transgressors. But he bore the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors.
For unto us a child is born.
But he was pierced for our transgressions.
Unto us a child is given.
And he was crushed for our iniquities.
The people walking in darkness have seen a great light.
The punishment that brought us peace was upon him.
On those living in the land of the shadow of death, a light has dawned.
And by his wounds we are healed.
The Christmas story is a love story. God sent down a gift of love to us on a night such as this a long time ago in Bethlehem. I would like to invite all the kids to come up front tonight while we talk about the story. It's kind of going to be a combination of a kid's sermon and an everybody sermon. So if you just want to sit here, wherever you find room, any kids, come on down front. Any teenagers want to come on down front? That's great. Okay. I have a couple of questions to ask you guys. And first question is, what does it feel like to be loved by someone? Nice. Okay. Good. Okay. Makes you feel good inside, right? Okay. Who are the people who love you? Mom and Dad? Everybody? Jesus. Okay. God. Okay. How do you know these people love you? What gives you a clue that they love you?
Because Jesus died for our sins.
Well, that's a good answer. How do you know that Mom and Dad love you? They hug you. Okay. Treat us well. Treat you well. Okay. What does your mom and dad do for you?
Takes care of us.
Takes care of you. Okay. Probably gives you breakfast in the morning, dinner at night, cooks stuff, right? Watches after you, all that good stuff. Okay. So when someone loves you and you feel their love, it's not just a warm, fuzzy feeling inside, but it's what they do for you that really shows that they love you, right? It's what they do for you. And that's how people show love. Well, sometimes love surprises us. Maybe you've been surprised by someone who showed you love that you didn't expect. And maybe you were feeling bad one day and someone just happened to come along and saw that you were feeling kind of bad. Maybe they gave you a hug. And I was like, oh, that was nice. I didn't expect that. But love makes all the difference. You could have been going through a bad day, or maybe you got in a fight with someone, or maybe you didn't do so good on a school project or forgot your homework at home. Or maybe you lost something that was really important to you. But if you know that someone loves you, you can get through the hard times. Love doesn't make all the hard times go away, but it can help us get through the hard times because we know that when someone cares about us, it's going to be okay. When somebody stands up for us, we can face most things because we know we don't have to face them alone. I'm going to stand up here so I can talk to both you and the grown-ups here too, okay? God wasn't satisfied with just being an unknown creator, but he wanted people to know that he loved them. Now, you know, God had a lot of messengers through all the ages back in the olden days too, but God wanted to show his love even more clearly than he did way back in the olden times. You know, if in the Old Testament days, God gave his laws, and people obeyed God's laws so they could live together in peace. But, you know, you can't wrap your arms around laws. But you can wrap your arms around a baby. And so God decided to come down in the form of a baby, his son Jesus, so that we would know without a doubt that God loves us. It's almost like God knew that the world needed a hug. And God knew that his people might have a hard time getting through life without knowing that someone loved them and was looking out for them. And that's what God wanted his people to know. The announcement of a baby being born is always good news. And people are so happy when babies are born, especially Kathy Meyer. Love creates new life. And God had so much love for the world, for every person, that he sent Jesus to demonstrate God's love. And you know, in the days before we had telephones and the internet, God depended on one person sharing his good news with the next person, who would then share it with the next person. And soon, this baby who became a man, Jesus, was being talked about not only in his own hometown, but all across the country where he lived, in the whole country of Israel. When Jesus grew up, his love surprised people because it wasn't the kind of love they expected. Jesus didn't come just to give people a warm, fuzzy feeling inside, but he came to demonstrate God's love in a way no one ever had before. He would show his love by what he gave up personally. Do you know that, your moms and dads have given up a lot of things for you? You know, they spend money on you instead of maybe going on fancy vacations, or, they do a lot of things to make sure that you have what you need. So they give of themselves. That's a giving kind of love. One thing I realized is that Jesus really didn't have a home. He didn't have, maybe he stayed with his mom and dad once in a while, but most of the time he was traveling around the country with his disciples, telling people about God's love. But people, sometimes people need to see and touch and feel things before they believe it. You can tell people till they're blue in the face, but Jesus showed people in real ways that he loved them. Can you think of some ways that Jesus actually showed people that he loved them? I'm going to give you a hint for one of them. He fed 5,000 people. Can you think of another one? Oh, were you going to say another one? Okay. Well, he gave them things to drink, things to eat. What else did Jesus do for people? He might have, yeah. He healed people. Okay. So, back in those days, that was pretty amazing, that Jesus would touch them and they would be healed. So then, that got people's attention. It wasn't just words. It was actions, so that they really saw the message was coming across. Would you believe that your mom and dad loved you if they didn't clothe you or feed you or take care of you? You wouldn't really believe that they loved you, would you? No. So they show you all those things. So it's those actions together with words that make a big difference. Jesus did the same to people by doing things that helped them in their daily lives. So that once they trusted Jesus, that he was who he said he was because of the things he did, then he could share with them more about what God's love is like. There is no limit to Jesus' love. When Jesus stood up for people, He stood up for the kinds of love that God wanted people to understand. And, you know, there were some people who didn't agree with him because that wasn't what they expected. Some of the people thought if Jesus was really the Son of God, then he should be, you know, bowing down to the religious authorities and following their rules and doing things their way on their schedule. But Jesus lived his life showing love that had no boundaries and no schedule. And it got him in trouble with the ones who thought their rules were more important than showing love. Sometimes standing up for love means paying a price. And Jesus paid the ultimate price by giving up his life. He wouldn't sell out, but he gave up his life so that many more people would see that he was the real deal, that he lived what he said. Can you be a messenger of God? You can. You can be a messenger of God. Everyone here can be a messenger of God, because everyone can show God's love in real ways. Everyone can do that. Everyone can help another person get food. Everyone can help another person have something to drink, or give them clothes if they don't have clothes. And so that shows other people that Jesus' love is coming through you because of what you do for other people. So now I'm going to show a video called Love Came Down at Christmas. So you'll see a lot of very imaginative, creative images on the screen. And through those, hopefully you will be able to see how God's love is being poured out to all people all over the world, because God came into the world as a human being, as a baby who one day grew up to show us how big God's love really is.